Please sit down, thank you. There is also an additional case study where we are talking about securing investments, building a team, navigating market challenges. Then the next kind of coding, and some part of it is automatically done these days. I will show you something known as sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis you can do just like that. Just give it, click sentiment analysis, and it will tell you. We'll do that for NEP document tomorrow. It will tell you that how much of it is positive, how much of it is negative, how much of it is neutral. Earlier, I mean, you can do it all by yourself, or you can ask the software to do it for you. Am I clear about that? I give you an entire thing, maybe a 100-page document, and I ask you to analyze the sentiment of each of the paragraphs. So you can do it positive, negative, neutral. That some things are positive means they are praising you, negative means they are saying it's useless, stupid, nonsense. The third is neutral, neither good nor bad. So this is a sentiment analysis that we are going to do anyway. But there are other emotional types also. Has anyone heard of Bharat Muni, Natya Shastra? What are the 9 rasas? Anyone remember that? Shankar, Hasya, Raudra, Vibhatsa, Karuna. Remember all the 9 rasas? Have you heard of that? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Have you? So you can talk about, you can quote them according to the 9 rasas. Whether they talk about Hasya more, whether they talk about Shringar more, or whether they are talking of Shanta more, whether they are talking of Vibhatsa, Veer, right? You remember those things? So emotion need not only be about rasas, emotion can be other types also. It can be, as I said, see please see that, I have spoken of frustration, anxiety, disillusionment, overwhelmed. I mean, see, the emotional part is very, very important these days. How many of you have an economics background? Anyone? Economics? Sir? Okay. Behavioral economics, I'm sure you've heard about behavior, Richard Thaler, behavioral economics, nudge, those kind of things. And there, part of emotion becomes very important. A lot of the decisions are not just rational, they are based on emotions, or they are based on how things are framed. So that, these things are important. You know what Coca-Cola sells? Coca-Cola. What do they sell? They don't say that we sell soft drink. In somewhere like India, where you have such wonderful juice like that we had in the morning, यहाँ पर Coca-Cola क्या काम है? What do they sell? They say we sell happiness. They are selling an emotion. Otherwise, what is it? Sweet drink, overpriced, doesn't taste good. लस्सी बहुत ज़्यादा बड़ी है, माज़ा भी अच्छा है. क्या है Coca? But the emotion there. I've had the chance of going to Atlanta to their headquarters, and there's a massive. They'll show you a 14-minute film, and they'll show you how we are selling happiness. It gives you happiness. It doesn't give me happiness, and our own Ramdev Baba, he said that it is a toilet cleaner, and he stopped their sales for long. Now they're back again, but still, the emotional part is important. So, what are the emotional techniques that people are using? And they do that, a lot of politicians do that very well. If you're analyzing, who's that from political science? Political science person, is he there? Yeah. Your name again, sir? Sudarshan, yeah. So a lot of those election campaigns, there could be the sympathy factor, there could be many other, anger factor, the insecurity factor. So a lot of those emotions. What are the emotions? So you could be analyzing a lot of campaign speeches and be looking at what are the emotions that people are trying to draw at. And then you show in these kind of things in those emotions, and that makes a lot of sense. Do you think it makes sense, right? Because in many places they will use that sympathy factor. See, I was supposed to get this, I did not get that. Please. My father was illegally arrested, this, that, whatever, I should get that. A lot of people, they do that. Whether it strikes a chord or is another thing. But that emotional thing is very, very important. So who will read that? Geeta, you read that? Another example, research on caregivers' experiences during a health crisis, page 4. Compassion, fatigue, prolonged caregiving, gratitude, unmanageable situations. Thank you so much, Geeta. Okay, so it could be compassion fatigue. So that's a very old film. I don't think that newcomers would not have seen that. There was an old film by Rajesh Khanna in Hindi. It was called, what was the name of that film? In Bengali it was called Deep Jalija. Where they sing that song, Wo Sham Kuch Ajeeb Thi. Khamoshi. So the same nurse, there are these two actors, Rajesh Khanna and Dharmendra. In Bengali it was Vikas Roy and some other person. So she has to act as if she's in love with the actor to save him, otherwise he will die. So at the end of the film she herself gets mad because she's so much fatigued by falling into love and out again on a thing. It's a beautiful film, old film. Just search for Ye Sham Kuch Ajeeb Thi. There's a wonderful song. Wahida Rahman is there in that film. So the idea is that emotion, compassion, fatigue. That happens. That you have to do it so often. That's why very often when you go to nurses or those places, they are very, very angry most of the time because they're fatigued. That they don't have that compassion anymore. So whether that is an emotion that you're looking at. So a lot of those complex, sophisticated, intricate emotions. That's why as a researcher it makes sense. Am I clear? Am I clear? Yes or no? Yes. Please tell me yes or no. Yes. Because our own rasa theory, have you heard of rasa? The 9 rasas that was done in 2,500 years back when they made that. So there, they talk of these complex emotions. Complex emotions in the sense that you have affection for the same person and at the same time you have a jealousy for certain things. Because when that person is talking to another person, you have a jealousy. So you have those two emotions together, affection and jealousy. Or when you have a weird emotion, at the same time you are feeling helpless or you are feeling remorseful. So this is very complex, two emotions at the same time. So that has to be coded as complex. Am I clear about that? You understand what I am telling you? That these documents, these texts are there. I am trying to find that out. It can be movies, it can be television. All that I am talking of text, it can be any audiovisual thing also. In fact, there is a nice work on how women are portrayed in James Bond's films. I have some of the code books here, I will share that with you. How long they are appearing, what color, how they look, what they do, so on and so forth and all. So that gives you an idea about how women characters are described there. Additional case study, shock, anger, resilience, acceptance. So this is another kind of coding. Whether you will apply emotional coding or not depends on what? Research questions. Wonderful. That's the idea. I as a researcher have that control. Shahana, is that correct? Right? I have the control and I have to decide how to do that. How somebody else, how Ranjan will do that is different from how Shahana will do that. Your research questions are different. How you are looking at it is different. So when you are exploring, you are looking for certain things. Software is there to help you in many ways. Many ways. You will see that. Values coding. What is values coding? One of you please explain, just by looking at page 5. Please explain values coding. You can come here and explain, anyone. Any one person, take that values coding page and please come here and explain it to everyone. Who will do that?
If I'm assessing...
Please come here and, wonderful.
if I'm...
You want to take a mic or something?
No. If I'm researching government officials based on their integrity, their honesty, and various other value systems which they have, then I'm doing an in-depth interview with them, and I can, based on their statements and whatever data I get in that interview, I can thematically code based on the values, their integrity, their honesty, based on the value code. I think that's what.
You can see that there are many other examples and all that from the thing.
Yes, in an analysis of climate activists, belief in renewable energy, for mentions of solar or wind energy, opposition to deforestation for campaigns against logging, advocacy for policy change for lobbying efforts. These are some values based on which you can, for a climate activist, he can do an interview or whatever narrative analysis, whatever. Thank you.
Thank you. Datta Niranjan? Right. So, what are the values, commitment, belief, on the border? We do have in the new national education policy, value system and your moral values and this and that. It's there. So this is something that you have to. Belief in renewable energy. Renewable energy is an important value system to cover about. Immediately after that, I'll give you a code. So please listen to this carefully and then we'll come back. Because I will give you a very small paragraph on your mobile phones. You can just code those things for whatever you feel like. A very short paragraph, I'll give it to you. So you'll do that. So please listen to this part carefully, and very soon I'm coming to that exercise with you. Because from tomorrow we have more exercise, but today more theory than exercise. So commitment, belief, respect. So that value can be not only for climate, it can be for any kind of thing. In a classroom section, it could be in any kind of a section. Additional case study, whether you support fair trade, whether you support anti-discrimination, whether you support those kind of things. So that's value coding. Is that clear?
Yes.
So what are the codings we have discussed so far? Topic. Second. Process. Open. Emotion. Values. Wonderful, wonderful. See, these are, I think, very, very elaborate. There are others maybe, but I thought that these 8 will take care of most of the coding types that we were talking about. Narrative coding is the next one. What is narrative coding? It analyzes data as stories. Data means all textual data. It can be any kind of a thing. So there are 7 or 8 different kinds of stories. Rags to riches, hero, getting into a problem and then getting out. So anyone of you from a humanities background, English literature or Kannada literature or Marathi literature? Anyone from literature? No one? Okay. So elements of narrative. So what happens there in the classic narrative structure is that there is a everything is fine. There's a crisis, and how people respond to that crisis, and how do they come out of it. This is a standard story structure. There is a crisis and there is a resolution, and then people have changed or they have not changed or whatever. So this is the structure. So you are analyzing for what is the plot. Even if it is a Rashtriya production or any kind of a song, dance, drama, or whatever, there will definitely be a crisis at one point. Right? If there is no crisis, there is no story. Television does that every day. I don't know what happens in Kannada television, but a lot of Ekta Kapoor serials, it has to happen every day. And that is why people say, that you should not watch too much of television serials. Why? Because it keeps you onto the crisis day after day after day after day. When you are watching a movie, I watched that wonderful movie by Rishabh Shetty, Kanta, how do you call it? Kanta? I watched it in Kannada with subtitles because that emotions that don't come in translations. I don't understand, but some headaches they help. There's a crisis, it is resolved somewhere. But there's an end to the crisis. And you come back, feeling whatever, happy, sad, or this or that, or whatever. What happens with television? The moment one crisis ends, you have to keep coming back for another crisis. So that you come. A lot of the times, my mother says that I have to wait to see what happens to this evil guy. Unless he gets that punishment, I have to keep watching. So this is the point. That's the point that they wanted to keep coming back to it, so that the evil guy gets punished. And once that evil guy gets punished, another evil guy will come. You want him to get punished or whatever. So that crisis is perpetual. Am I clear? Yes or no?
Yes.
And we keep on coming back just because of that. And they know that, again, this is a biochemical thing. Cortisol, this is a biochemical thing. A lot of those things, if they tell you that why this happened, unless you tell them that, then there'll be a locha in the mind. What is happening? Why is it not correct? So you keep on coming for that. So that is why it's so real. That is why it keeps you tensed most of the time. That's why you should not watch. And people are not watching. That's why OTT. How many of you watch OTT regularly? Netflix, Prime Video. Some of you. Others who are not watching will watch eventually. So. But that's probably better. If you're not watching, if you're away from the screen, better. And as you can understand, I'm not going onto the screen most often because this is, I think, more interactive. That's why I think this one. So a lot of those narratives. So where are the crisis points that they're talking? So if you're looking for those crisis points in a long narrative, what are the crisis points? So that is a narrative coding. Whether it's a crisis, whether it's a resolution, whether it is a character, whether it is a positive character, negative character, this, that, or whatever. Clear? Yes?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Character, setting, plot, narratives. So it can be journey, it can be loss and separation, it can be resilience, it can be rebuilding lives. So researchers study characters, career trajectories of women in STEM fields employed narrative coding to understand their experiences. What is STEM?
Technology, engineering, and medical.
Management. Okay. Now we all know, very good. Jagriti, right? So how do they talk about things as breaking barriers? Because of course, that's an issue. Mentorship influences, work-life balance, gender bias encounters. So all those kind of things will come. Again, these are just examples I'm giving you, just to set the stage for that. Narrative coding focuses on analyzing data as stories, identifying key elements like setting, plot, and characters. Setting, what is the background? Many of those, for example, Kargil LOC or whatever. Even if it's a love story, the background is the war. What is the background? Where is it happening? So where is, that background is important in that kind of a coding. Am I clear? Yes or no? Yes?
Yes.
Wonderful. So adjusting, overcoming, seeking, building, facing discrimination, those things are very important. They are never ever recorded in survey instruments. In survey instruments, the response is very less, and one person is only one case. Here, even if I am doing 14 different interviews, each different interview is a different document. Each case is a different document. I will show you. I have one Excel document, and when I'll share it with you on the group, or you can take it on any mail or whatever. If you put that into Atlas.ti, each interview will be each different document, D1, D2, D3, whatever. So here, each case study is important. If somebody is facing discrimination, only a qualitative data analysis will be able to tell that. Otherwise, in question, what will you say? That I face discrimination in work life, agree, slightly agree, disagree. That does not catch the main thrust or the intensity of the discrimination. So qualitative analysis will be important there. And then you can have, as I said, the document whatever, whether it's audiovisual document, a speech, anything. If you're analyzing that, you can analyze it for emotions, you can analyze it for process, you can analyze it for narrative, have descriptions, this, that, or whatever. Idea is to look at that with that eyes. Because once that eye opens, you can see many things which you could not see earlier. Am I clear? When I did not know the Bangla alphabet, everything appeared similar to me. When I know the Bangla alphabet, I can make sense of everything in a different way. Or when I know that, okay, there are a lot of those shows where they dispel all those magic tricks, the card tricks or this, that, or whatever. You know the magician tricks. A lot of YouTube videos that, okay, this is how the magicians work. Now when you see the same magic, it does not appear so magical to you. Am I clear? Am I clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So when now you go into coding, because you are empowered with these thoughts, you will look at it with different examples. Or you will look at it with different ideas, and that's very important. When I was into journalism, wherever I would go, I was looking at stories. How to get into a story or whatever. When I am into research, more of the time I am looking at it, how can I make a research paper out of this, that, whatever. When I am into training, how can I use this example and how can I use that in my training programs, this or whatever. So it becomes a part of you, whether you like it or not. Whatever you are doing, you are thinking on those lines, consciously, subconsciously, whatever. So if you are into the qualitative way of thinking, and we've seen this morning, how to think like a qualitative researcher. You remember that? In the morning we told you 5 different types and this and that or whatever. You remember that? Yes or no? Yes. Wonderful. So this is one narrative coding is another part of it. As I said, provisional coding. And I will share an example with you also. That from a previous work or from my own previous work, because this software allows me, but software is not the point. As I said, you can do it on Excel also. Software is just an additional tool to make it easier, or just to impress the reviewer that you used Atlas.ti, whatever. It is useful, of course, it is very useful, but even if you are not doing that, you can do it manually in Excel also. You have a code book, a code with a description and etc. etc. You can use the same code for this kind of thing, and we are talking about them as provisional codes. We are using them as provisional codes, but we can of course change them. One thing which is new for all researchers these days is what? Artificial intelligence. 2 years back, before COVID, it was not there. Now everything has to have an artificial intelligence background. It will change your life like you cannot even imagine. I mean, we belong to pre-mobile generation. I did my masters in 96-98. I got net JRF in 99 December. So we are from different era altogether. There are no mobile phones there. We've seen how mobile phone has changed everything. During our times, if you left home and if you could not reach one place, then the friend had no way of understanding that where they are. When we got into reporting, many of us for a few months we did not want to have a mobile phone because we thought that the office would find out where we are, or they could catch us whenever we want. Otherwise, we say that काम पर जा रहे हैं, किधर जा रहे हैं, nobody knows. At the end, you have to give the output. You have to just write a story. So that is manageable. The rest of the day, you can do anything. So we belong to that age, and we've seen how everything has changed. We've seen how internet has changed everything. At times, I will not divulge full details, but at times when we have to make question papers where we do not have internet support, there are a lot of public examinations. For example, if it is a UPSC examination and you are a question setter, you don't have access to internet. You have access to all documents. And when you have to think before internet times, you find it is so difficult. Nowadays, everything is ChatGPT. I have ChatGPT paid version on my phone, anything. I don't use Google also. So this is there. But nowadays this has changed. So internet changed everything. Mobile changed it further. Cloud changed it even further. Now it does not matter, earlier we had to save it in 2-3 different places. Now I only save it on OneDrive or iCloud or Google Drive, and I don't bother, if somebody runs away with my laptop also, no problem, I have the cloud. Just have to ensure that the cloud, that's why, everywhere it's double protection. At times I have to convince Google that it is me. It doesn't get convinced the first time, it has to be convinced again. Then it allows me to access my own email. AI is going to change everything. After the T session, I'll have a very short session on AI before we get into the software too. So just give me 10 minutes, I'll send you the coding part, which you'll code in 10-15 minutes, and then I'll come back. You just talk about your codes. It can be anything. It's just a small, fun exercise. Don't take it as something that, there's no reputation involved. In the learning process, we are all learners. You're doing it for the first time, you're doing it on the first day, whatever you do is fantastic, fabulous. And we'll all be exuberant. So don't get bothered about, the types and all. Don't get bothered about English language, it comes. English is much easier than Kannada that you speak. Or Bengali or Hindi or whatever you speak. Tripura does not have any other. Tripura Bangla knowledge. No, Kokboro knowledge. Kokboro? তুমি জানো? Okay, Kokborok is a language they use in the tribal parts of So provisional coding is something that, so it can be organizational communication, it can be, please keep this document, I think the Jindri sir has given you a soft copy of this as well. So please keep just as a, because it's easy, otherwise you would have to do all those references and do that all by yourself. So I put it all together. So you have these 6 styles of coding. You can have, see after that you integrate these coding methods in research. You can have descriptive coding, process coding, emotion coding, values coding, narrative coding, provisional coding. There are other coding ways also. We'll probably discuss in days to come. What I'm doing right now is I'm sending a PDF on your group. Shanmukh, you can even put that on the this thing also. I'm first of all sending it on your group, on your WhatsApp group. Coding text. This is a 1-page text. Please see whether you got it. Please see whether it's there. Did you get it? Yes. So next 15-20 minutes, that is the exercise. When the community project was initiated, there was skepticism about its outcome. So what you do is you code on sentences, not on paragraphs. Am I clear? I was समझ में? You're coding on sentences. Your coding unit is sentence. Is that clear? Yes or no? Yes. अरे इतना दुखी क्यों? Why are you so sad? Is it clear? Yes or no? Yes. Very good. Shanmukh is very techno savvy, isn't it? It's a fictitious text. कहीं है नहीं मतलब I just you can write down the entire text and code also if you want. You can write it down on a piece of paper and code or whatever. It's just that I wanted to give you a 15-minute respite from just listening. It gets boring. open it on the screen?
Yes, sir.
After this, I promise you that you will get some tea to have. 4 o'clock, yeah. No. This one. Just now I said this one. I will show you. This one.
This one.
This one, right. Oh, is it from here? Thank you so much. I've discussed 7 types of coding processes. You can use whatever. If you think there's something else, you'll do that. So when you're starting coding, you realize it's something which requires some thinking, isn't it? Next one,
We can give 2 codes per.
Yeah. You can give more than 1 code to 1 line. Of course, sir. Of course. It all depends on what you're thinking. We'll just have a discussion on that. Why you think that? Because it's up to you. What kind of research, insight that text provides you. Because it's different from what others are doing. For you, it might provide a different insight. For me, it can be different. So there's no one way of doing it, and that's the beauty of it. Computer assisted quality development analysis, qualitative analysis software, right? ये कुछ पिक्चर्स है ना उसमें डाल देंगे सर, फोटोज भी उसमें डाल देंगे मैं दे दूँगा अपने लैपटॉप में, तो लैपटॉप ये वाला है ना लैपटॉप डिपार्टमेंट का, तो ये मैं होटल ले जाऊँगा इसी में डाल दूँ। Shanmukh ji, this is for you also. You are very tired? Where are you from, Jyoti? Which part? You're from Karnataka? Jyoti is a very popular name in Bengal. One of our chief ministers was Jyoti Basu. But basically Jyoti is the name of a girl, but you understand the exercise? I gave you 7 kinds, you don't have to use all the 7 kinds, anything you decide. Just code each sentence if you like. So there are 9 lines or more than 9 lines? 9 lines, I guess. How many lines are there? 9? Sudarshan? Where's Sudarshan? Yeah, that's fine. And beside you is Manjunath? Where's Manjunath? You're from the same discipline? No. Sociology. Oh, MSW. Okay. We have an IASWBM in Calcutta University. Indian Institute of Social Welfare and Business Management. This is an entire institute. Where's Viresh? Viresh is here, no? Basav Raj. There are 2 people, 2 Basav Raj, only you? Oh, yes, this is here. Ashika, Rashi, Chetana, Anju. Okay? Names are correct? No. Who's Ashika? You're Rashi. Chetana, Anju. Divyashri is there or she's not here? You are Divyashri. And you are Shweta, right? Shweta. Your library science and Divyashri, what's your subject?
So computer science.
Computer science. So you are faculty there? Okay. The entire AI thing is on Python only. So you are the. Your coding is different from this coding.
Yes, sure. Yes.
I learned some Python. I can't really work on some local LLM. But I think maybe there will be a time when everyone will have to learn some Python. Python is very close to broken English. It's like
Compared to other programming language, Python is
much easier.
Much easier compared to other languages.
And it's a lot more robust.
Robust, and it has rich library support compared to other languages.
But you know, if you use, if you do a project on how people make use of all these things, then qualitative data has the QDA will have a lot of because most of your research on your core area is a lot about numbers and all that. But if you're doing it how people make use of it, then I know of a person from the chemistry department and you collaborate with another person. They're doing an ICSSR project. It's huge. So if you're looking at those social kind of things. So where do you teach?
It's in Chandrasekhar University.
And how far is it from here?
So more than 600, maybe 600.
Okay. Is it the different part of North Karnataka?
So it comes after Mysore.
Oh, okay. So
South Karnataka.
You come to Dharwad often or is it?
It's the first.
First? Both of your colleagues?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's nice. So both of you can collaborate on some research.
Actually, I wanted to know the difference between these kind of
Yeah,
That's why I came.
of course. This is so important. I also am a late entrant into QDA, but then I thought that it's interesting and people find it useful. So as I told you, if you Google search Atlas.ti tutorial, one of my videos will rank the top 1, 2, 3. So people find it useful, so it's big motivation for me. Datta Niranjan is very serious. This STU2G is not a very good connection. Every time it just goes off. Yeah?
Same time.
Mobile, I have to, plus tomorrow I'll bring up my old phone because I have a Vodafone connection. Vodafone is also very bad.
Intel is good, sir.
Yeah, I have the other phone which is Airtel. So tomorrow I'll have that. So that from that I will use the hotspot for this.
Mine is
Airtel. Another 4-5 minutes, and then I will come back to my description of what those things are. Right? Plus you can, discuss your own as well. Vismaya and Jayalakshmi, right? Both of you are research scholars in the same department? Teachers? You're which department? Both of you are in extension. You're economics. Both of you are PhD scholars, right? She is? That's MSc. কি হচ্ছে কঠিন प्रोग्राम में भी थे ना, ऑडिटोरियम में जो प्रोग्राम था थे वहाँ पर?
लास्ट टाइम
हाँ
जर्नलिज्म
हाँ, एग्रीकल्चर जर्नलिज्म. In another 1 or 2 minutes, we'll call it time out and then we'll have the discussion, right? Are we ready, everyone? Or you want more time? Tell me. Yes, Jyoti Basu? You're not Basu, right? Where's Kiran Kumar? Kiran Kumar is here? You are, yeah. And you are Navina, right? Yeah. And what are we talking? What are your subjects? Economics. Agri economics. Okay. How is it different from? I mean, is it a specialization or is it different? After after graduation, you get into a specialization. Graduation is in economics.
Yes.
Okay. I've been to many agriculture universities. Hisar Agriculture University, BHU, of course. You know, I used to do that very often. We have Vidhan Krishi Vishwavidyalaya. So, how many agricultural universities are there in Karnataka? 5. Dharwad and Shimoga. And Raichur is closest from here, no? Okay. Oh, so it belongs to the Hyderabad, Karnataka. So there is one Bombay, Karnataka and Gulbarga. So it's closer to Gulbarga, right? But it's not Karnataka also. So you speak Telugu there? No. Raichur, they speak Telugu. So both of you are from the same place? Same university. What university is that? This place? Shimoga. A lot of people from Shimoga. Your students have also come. So such a nice feeling for them, being on the same. It's really nice. That's why they're a little scared in front of their teachers. Ashika is not scared, but the other 3 are scared, I think. Okay, so we will start discussions. So, very quickly, because after this session we'll install the software and we'll have a look at what the software is. We'll not work on it, we'll work on it tomorrow, but today I'll just have you so the first part is when the community project was initiated, there was skepticism about its outcomes. So how are you coding it? Anyone? Initial skepticism. So one of the first codings could be, are you there, Shanmu? You have the Gita and what's your name? No, Gita's Pavitra. So let's talk about the coding now. We are discussing the coding exercise that I just gave you. So the first question, the first part was when the community project was initiated, there was skepticism about its outcome. So it's just initial skepticism. So that's kind of a general topic code. And you could put in a comment there or something that this highlights the initial doubts or resistance phase when introducing new initiatives, which is a common challenge in community projects. So this is always there.
Public perception.
Public perception is also, yes, sir, you're so right. Anyone else? Yes, that's so. Yes, topic. Wonderful. Anyone else with any other idea? Shahana? Anything? What's that? Perspective of people. Wonderful. Jagriti? Anything.
So project planning,
Project planning, yes. Sector of collective action. Yes. So it is all. So we are just getting wonderful. So we all know that it has to be something very Basavraju, both of Basavraju, right? Just diagonally opposite also is you, Basav. So the same thing. Yes, MA, Rashid? Yes, so something like that. Initial skepticism, initial doubts, initial planning, this, that, or whatever. And that's how we go. Yes, initial resistance. Yes, resistance is such an important thing. So resistance can be one of the things that whenever things come, so that is some kind of a resistance to that. Some residents voiced concerns about the lack of transparency in planning, while others saw it as an opportunity for much needed change. This is again another status report that has come out. Some people are angry. One of the major problems that most administrators face is that मेरे को नहीं पता, I don't know, मेरे से नहीं पूछा, they didn't ask me. So that is a problem. Others saw it for much needed change. So how do you code it? Differences among the community members. How else? Institutional was that problems? Injustice? Okay, yes, sir. Okay, yes. Anyone else? Khalid? Nothing? Anyone else?
Different concerns for change.
Different concerns for change, yes. So we can call it as transparency concerns, because that's one of the ideas that we are looking at. See, because the research has to have something for, as I said, policy makers, for people and all that. So that's one of the things we are pointing out. That transparency is something that if it is done, then adoption is a lot more easier. A lot of the times, and we know all that when participation is from all sides, it's much easier, isn't it? Is that clear? The second line? It can be transparency concerns, opportunity for change, because there are two different things at the same time. Agree with that? Datta Niranjan? Clear? We can have that, and we can say that two opposing perspectives emerge, as Janvi says. One focused on distrust in the process, the other in the potential for positive outcomes. So there is that tussle between the potential for positive outcomes and the distrust. Because as we understand that we are trying to look into the themes to find out something which concerns us. We can also, do a diagram. I'll share a diagram with Shanmukh. And where is Shanmukh? Oh, you there? You're going here, there, everywhere. Fine, no problem. Please do, that's fine. I have to face the camera, that's why I'm standing here. Otherwise, I also do the same.
So some of us, maybe, I don't know, others, they're not in the group. So that's all based on that.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Any other thing? Does it make sense? Yes or no?
Yes.
Wonderful. So this is the second line. The third line. The first meeting brought together individuals from different backgrounds, sparking lively debates and at times heated arguments. So we are bringing people from different backgrounds. We are making them sit, and that happens all the time. And group dynamics are always there. I'm sure all of you are part of WhatsApp groups, isn't it? Everyone is a part of WhatsApp group. Is everyone a part of some WhatsApp group or the other? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
And every WhatsApp group, there are one or two people who get angry and leave the group. Haven't you seen that? You see that all the time. Because that is a process. That's a part of, we say, group dynamics. Forming, norming, storming, adjourning. We know that process. So that storming happens all the time. And when then two people sit, there will be somebody. No, this is not like this. And that helps TV people very much. They don't have to arrange for anything. They just bring two group of people who are fighting with each other, bring them on camera. They don't have to pay anything. Free ka drama. When they invite speakers, they tell them that you have to speak for, you have to speak against. Unless there is conflict, nobody is going to watch it. Everybody is happy, everybody is laughing, everybody is nice. You're not going to watch it. Newspapers will be out of service. TV channels will close down. When I was a reporter, my editor would tell me that as a reporter, your job is to create a dispute. If a dispute doesn't exist, you won't exist. People are there listening to you, watching to you because there is dispute. BJP versus Congress, JDS versus Congress, whatever. That dispute is there, Shah Rukh versus Salman. If there is no dispute, they create a dispute so that people will take note of it. Am I clear? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Very good. You'll get tea, don't worry. So what is it? Lack of cohesion. What else? Third line. Anyone? Shahana? Navina sir? Jyoti?
Non-cooperation.
Non-cooperation, yes.
But it's a debate.
Debate, yes.
Disagreements.
Disagreements, yes. So I create, now we are just on the path. Rashi, Chetana, Anju, just watching, writing. Okay. Diversity of perspectives, conflict and debate. How I put it. Conflict and debate. So, because there will be many issues. If it is a longer document, there will be many other places of conflict and debate. So what is the conflict and debate about? Am I clear about that? So first is coding. From coding we get to categories. From categories to themes. I will show you when I come to content analysis interpretation. Yes, Jayalakshmi, Vismaya. Make sense? Yes or no? Yes or no? Louder please. You don't have a loud voice. You need a microphone. So the meeting highlights both the richness and challenges of diversity in collaborative events. It highlights both the richness and challenges of diversity. Shweta ma'am, it makes sense? In collaborative events. Amidst the disagreements, a common thread began to emerge. The shared desire for a better future. Am I clear? I'm talking about this part. Right? What? How do you code it? Many ways. Hope. Yes. How else? Consensus. Yes. Who said consensus? Kiran Kumar sir, right? Oh, you said, right? Sudarshan sir, right? Sudarshan, isn't it? Shanmukh? Coding bhi kar lo yaar. Yeah, does it make sense, Divyashi ma'am? So shared vision, it could be a shared vision. As someone said, hope. Depends, the language changes, but the idea is similar. Yes, Basavraj sir, is it? So that's one of the reasons. Over the months, small victories kept the group motivated. one sentence. Over the months, small victories kept the group motivated. Self-motivation, motivation milestones, motivation, whatever. So some of those words will do some kind of coding which is known as in vivo coding, where we actually use the words as codes. The word, generally the words are not the codes. Codes are something deeper than that. But at times we will need to. Yeah, does it make sense? Because we are analyzing it sentence by sentence. So that analysis will give us some better input. Because unless you make that analysis, this is very difficult. A neighborhood cleanup drive led by a group of enthusiastic teenagers transformed an abandoned park into a vibrant community space. Transformation, wonderful, wonderful.
The commitment towards transformation.
Commitment towards community transformation, yes. Success story, yes. Wonderful, wonderful. You're just on the right path. This is very encouraging. Anyone else? Anji? Community development, yes. Youth leadership. Youth leadership is something that is so very important, because we are talking about a group of teenagers. Whenever there is youth leadership, there is another thing. So involving the youth in that kind of a leadership. Because it's their energy that matters. It's their drive that is going to make something successful or not successful. Right? Radicals in any organization, it's a youth. When you become old like us, you're scared of the consequences. Youth is not scared of the consequences. Right? Sirs and ma'ams and boys and girls? Yes. Right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Everyone yes or no?
Yes.
Wonderful. That energy is required. That youth leadership is required. Wonderful. So community transformation is also one of the ways that we are looking at. So this event highlights the role of youth in driving change and the tangible outcomes. Tangible outcomes, something that is measurable, something that is seen, something that is observed. The tangible thing is very, very important. Is that clear? However, challenges persisted. Funding was limited and not everyone contributed equally, leading to frustration among some members. So instead of just putting how challenges persisted, we put the two sentences together. Resource constraints. Very good. Participation in inequality. Unequal contributions. Community engagement.
Social mobilization.
Yes. So, thank you so much, ma'am. So what happens is that, when we have these scores, for later on, these scores will have more. And I will just tell you that some of these scores can be linked. In fact, I will also share a visual with the Shanmukh, and he will put it on, or I'll put it on the group, you'll see it yourself. On the group, just a moment. So the resource constraints, participation, inequality, etc., they are important codes that are going there. But as I said, just one way. But the important thing, you are looking deep into it. You are looking into the analysis part of it already, and that's what the idea is. Atlas.ti is just going to help this easier. This part is conceptual. Atlas.ti will help us with a lot of these concepts, or they will suggest their own concepts or whatever. But once we get the idea clear, the software usage, then I'm in control. Then the software is not in control. Because when people learn SPSS for the first time, they think that's a magic tool. Everything happens. But if you know how to use that, then analysis is a lot more richer. Still, the project became a symbol of hope. Again, it can be in vivo coding, symbol of hope. Hope. Because success. Wonderful. Absolutely brilliant. So the project's symbolic value transcends its practical outcomes. Symbolic value that we can do this. You've seen that film by Swadesh by Shah Rukh Khan. I don't know whether you watch Hindi films or not. So it's all about lighting a bulb, So it's about doing something. Beyond tangible outcomes like improved infrastructure, it fostered a sense of belonging and collective responsibility among the residents. And that's very important for any project to succeed if people take ownership. Ye mera hai, this belongs to me. I am a part of it. And that's what, when we talk of nationhood or this or that or whatever, it's a sense of belonging if you can generate, then a lot of other things can work. So how do you code that?
Collective advocacy for change.
Collective advocacy, wonderful. Social cohesion, social responsibility, wonderful. Am I clear? So it highlights a deeper social impact. Yes, Divyashi, ma'am, it makes sense. You are probably one of the only one who's outside social science. Everybody is social. We are not saying that you are anti-social, but you are above social. You are more social than social.
They are capturing social science.
They get all the funding. They get in crores, we get in lakhs.
Even the research, everything with AI.
Yeah.
They can take.
And that's no, but how to use AI, how to get those prompts and all. We will discuss. So they're setting up the infrastructure. We are, doing it for now. Yeah, Sharmukh has shared something on the group, or is it Jelly service sharing? So see, we can have 3 different themes from the codes. So from codes into themes. So please listen to me carefully. If we had, what are the initial codes that I spoke of? I spoke of, because just the codes is not enough. It has to make some sense. Code was initial skepticism. Code was transparency concerns. Code was opportunity for change. Code was diversity of perspectives, conflict and debate, shared vision, motivation milestone, youth leadership, community transformation, resource constraints, participation inequality, symbol of hope, social cohesion, collective responsibility. Am I clear? These are some of the codes that we have. Now I am saying that these codes can be aggregated into 3 major themes. The first theme is challenges in community projects. The first theme is challenges in community projects. And what are the codes as part of that? Initial skepticism, transparency concerns, resource constraints, participation inequality. So that is adding to a theme. So I am suggesting that these are the themes. So am I clear, yes or no? Yes. Students, first we identified themes. For each sentence we identified 2, 3, 4, 5 themes. And from themes we are getting, we identify code. From codes we are getting into themes. And from themes we will get into an overarching, category or key, ideas or whatever. So we are getting into different stages. Just coding is not enough. Coding is just the first stage of it. So the first theme that we've identified is challenges in community projects. I'll share that part of, I'll put it there on WhatsApp and I'll share that thing with you as well. So that you can see that, you don't have to write it down. Motivation and transformation element. So that's just one way of doing it. I'm not saying that my way is the correct way, just one way. Motivational and transformational elements. First one is challenges in community projects. Second is motivational and transformational elements. Small victories, youth leadership, community transformation, shared vision. Remember that? These are all motivational and transformational elements. That's another theme. The third theme I am saying is social and emotional impact. Am I clear? Social and emotional impact. Social cohesion, collective responsibility, symbol of hope, etc., etc. So this is one of it. So let me just copy this. And since we have WhatsApp, let me put that. Let me bold certain parts. So I put it there on the WhatsApp group. Can you please check whether you got it?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And the themes and all that. Now let me show you some other thing here. You can visually depict that. See the visual representation you got. Shanmugh, ma'am is not in the group. Can you just show it from your mobile? Just see, we have linked those themes and codes in the visual representation here. Am I clear? Not just codes. This allows me to put in a visual representation, gives me all those pathways and this and that and all. So that makes analysis appear a lot more stronger. Just one page documented. See what we've done. I didn't do anything. You did all that. Am I clear? So we are going to use all this into Atlas.ti when we come back. Is that clear? Chai milega, Shanmugh ji? So let's all break for tea. 10 minutes, 15 minutes.